Dear all students, welcome to today's lectures. Today discuss Maxwell's third equations. In previous lectures, already discussed the Maxwell first equations and Maxwell's second equation. Maxwell first equation totally depends on the Gauss's law of electrostatics, and Maxwell's second equation totally depends upon the Gauss's law of magnetostatics. Now, today discuss the Maxwell's third equation. Maxwell's third equation based on Faraday's law. We know that the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, which have produced an induced EMF in a closed circuit, and this EMF E is equal to minus del phi by del t, and phi is nothing but a magnetic flux. Now the total magnetic flux linked with the circuit means phi is equal to surface integration of magnetic field means B bar dot ds bar. Means induced EMF is equal to E is equal to minus surface integration of del B by del T ds bar, and this is nothing but the equation number 1. Again, the induced EMF can be found by calculating the work done moving unit positive charge around a closed circuit. It means that E is equal to closed integrations of line closed integrations of E bar dot dl bar, and this is nothing but the equation number 2, and this means E bar is nothing but the electric intensity of the field. From equation 1 and 2, left hand sides are equal. It means that right hand side also equal, means close integration, closed line integration means E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus surface integrations of del B by del T dot ds bar, and this is nothing but the equation 1. This is the integral form of Maxwell's third equation, which signifies that the electromotive force around a closed curve is equal to negative time rate of change of magnetic flux, negative time rate of change of magnetic flux through the surface bounded by a curve. By using the Stokes theorem, you already know that in previous unit I already discussed the Stokes theorem. Stokes theorem is nothing but the line integration of E bar dl bar is converted into the surface integration. The surface integration of curl of E bar dot ds bar. Means equation 3 becomes, in equations 3, line integration along a closed circuit means E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus del B by del T dot ds bar, and this nothing but means what do we are using Stokes theorem? Line integration converted into the surface integrations, with the surface integration of curl of E bar the ds bar is equal to minus del B by del T ds. Since the equation is true for any surface, then the integration is become every point is equal to curl of E is equal to minus del B by del T, and this is the differential form of Maxwell's third equation. Now, after showing this equation means this equation depends on time, means physical significance of Maxwell's third equation. It is time dependent equations. In previous equations means Maxwell's first equation and Maxwell's second equations is independent on time, but Maxwell's third equation depends on time, means it is time dependent equations. It is the relations between the electric field and magnetic vector. Because the left hand side of this equation number 3 means curl of E electric field is equal to minus del V by del T. Means this equation shows the relations between the electric field as well as magnetic field. It is the relations between the space variations of E bar and time variations of B bar. Means is the relation space variations of E bar means electric field and time variations in magnetic field. It is the statement of Faraday's law. Okay. Then they discuss the Maxwell's fourth equations. According to the Faraday's law, the change in magnetic field generates the electric field. Does the changing the electric field generates the magnetic field? This idea about symmetry was put forwarded by Maxwell. We know the Ampere's law applied to steady magnetic field in differential vector form. Del cross H bar is equal to J bar. Means J bar is nothing but a current density. And magnetic field V is equal to mu naught H bar. The Maxwell modified the Ampere's law means curl of magnetic field is equal to mu naught in bracket J bar plus J dash bar. To calculate the value of J dash bar, taking the divergence of both the sides means divergence of in bracket curl of magnetic field is equal to divergence of mu naught in bracket J plus J dash bar. But we know that divergence of curl of any vector quantity is equal to 0. Means the left hand side of this equation is 0 means divergence of del dot in bracket curl of B bar is equal to 0. Means that del dot mu naught J plus J bar dash is equal to 0. Now split up this equation. Suppose means del dot mu naught J bar is equal to del dot mu naught J dash bar is equal to 0. Means divergence of J bar is equal to minus divergence of J bar dash. But the equation of continuity is divergence of J bar is equal to minus del rho by del T. Means rho is equal to charge density, already know that you know it. Means divergence of J bar dash is equal to del mu by del T. But according to the Maxwell's first equation, charge current density is equal to divergence of displacement, electric displacement. Now from this equation we can write easily del dot J dash bar is equal to divergence of delta T by del T. Suppose the divergence is neglected means J dash bar is equal to del dt bar by dt. Now from this equation 2 becomes curl of magnetic field means del cross B bar is equal to mu naught J bar plus mu naught epsilon 0 del E by del T. Means we know that the electric displacement is equal to epsilon 0 electric field. Means this equation again write in the forms of del cross H bar is equal to J bar plus epsilon 0 del E by del T. On this equation 3a and 3b is nothing but the differential forms of Maxwell's fourth equations. Do you understand? This is nothing but the Maxwell's equations of fourth equation. Now, in next lecture we discuss here the integral forms of fourth equation, integration forms of fourth equations. Now, this today's lecture is stop here.